So I'm trying something a little different today because I just felt like I needed to share this message with all my fellow photographers, fellow creatives, fellow moms, fellow millennials, elder millennials, geriatric millennials, women. It's that we don't have to show up perfect. We don't have to be perfect all the time, especially on social media. Now, if you're in my age group, then you know you've lived through the perfect curated version of social media. Back when Instagram was a perfect curated feed, everything gonna be perfect. You had to like show up, you need to have your face on. And this is especially for women, because I know the pressure that we feel, that we experience, that not only do we have to like be perfect, we have to look perfect. And so this morning I was at my workout, and as one does when you're working out, like kind of looking around the room. And the ironic thing is that I'm an introvert, but I go to group classes. Anyway, I'm just kind of observing everybody else. And I got to thinking, because there are like, you know, a number of women who are in my workout class who have like full faces of makeup. And now if that's what you do, you, okay? But the problem I see is when we feel like we have to do that. Like we feel like we have to show up a certain way, we have to look perfect, we have to have our face on. And some people honestly use that as like a mask to cover whatever kind of like, you know, imperfections we don't want to show the internet. But here, especially on YouTube, if we're getting started, and this is not a YouTube growth channel, but I feel like there's a lot of personal growth that can come with building a personal brand, building is just getting your message out to the masses. And part of that is that you do not have to be perfect. Instead, share the journey, share where you're at, share what's hard, share what's difficult, share your wins. People love to follow a journey. And then at the same time, you can see how far you've come from the beginning to where you are now to where it is that you want to get to in the future. And, you know, I get it. That's like easier said than done. And like for me, even, I know how long I overthought, overplanned, questioned, doubted, all the things before I actually started my YouTube channel, because I thought that I had to be perfect. I thought that I had to have it all together. But here's what I decided to do instead, is that I've intentionally decided to make my YouTube videos without putting a face on, without wearing any makeup, unless I'm actually already wearing it, whatever, but not like getting YouTube ready, not getting social media ready, as kind of a point and as an experiment and as just like a release to let go of having to look a certain way, having to appear a certain way, having to believe the lie that you have to be perfect in order to share a message, in order to build an audience, in order to make connections with other people. Like, look at me. I like literally came from a workout about an hour ago. My shirt is still sweaty. My face is kind of sweaty. But you know what? I don't care. I felt like I had to I needed to share this message with other women, especially because I understand. I know how hard it is to show up authentically for yourself when maybe And this was like a big one for me, is that I would be worried about what other people are going to think, what other people are going to say. But I know deep down that we all share very similar, you know, insecurities or self-doubt, or just like, are we good enough? And I'm here to say today that you are enough. Your story is enough. Your experience is enough, and people need to hear from you. So if you've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel, starting on social media, sharing your story, then this is your sign to go ahead and go for it and do it, because people need to hear from you. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have it all together. You can show up as you are, because you are enough, and your story needs to be heard by others, because you don't know who you might be impacting. You might be impacting somebody who like was in a dire situation. You might be impacting someone who just needed to hear your encouragement or your advice or your tips. You don't know. And you'll never know unless you put yourself out there and go for it, and just show up imperfectly, show up authentically, be yourself, because everybody else is taken. And that's part of building a personal brand, is being yourself, leaning into who you are, what message you have to share, and making an impact on the world. So that's all I got. This is a little bit different from all my other videos, but if this resonated, click subscribe, click like, do all the things, and see you next time.